Welcome to the Shekina Meditation Podcast, created by Shekina community members. Shekina communities are dedicated to creating free devotional spaces of Christian practice for spiritual seekers and travelers around the world. We post Christ-centered guided meditation each week to help you in your personal or small group practice. You can find episode show notes and other information at shekinacommunity.com. Hi there, this is Ray. It is week 49 of the podcast. It's Monday the 30th of September as I record this, and I'm sitting on the steps of my studio drinking green tea and thinking about how fast the day has gone. I don't even know how it is possible. Today I got up in the morning pretty much with one of the main things on my list being to put this podcast out, and my computer broke. It just wouldn't turn on. So I have gone through a whole lot of steps to try to find a computer to use. And thankfully, my husband has gotten me set up with his computer, and here I am recording for you. It's couldn't be worse timing. I have a manuscript due in a few days, but it's all working out. So it's one of those frustrating days where everything has actually gone pretty well because solutions have been found, and yeah, we have what we need to make this happen. So here I am. The day has gone quickly, and here I am recording a podcast. Listeners, this podcast is supported by you. Because this podcast is about meditation, we want to keep it ad-free. Our beloved patrons at patreon.com support us for as little as $1 a month, and patrons get extra audio every month. You can find us at patreon.com/Shekina Meditation Podcast. Another way that you can support us is by rating or reviewing us on iTunes. You can email the podcast to a friend, or you can tell the world. You can do whatever you want. You can share it with whoever you want. We would love to have more listeners. And one thing that this podcast is supporting this week is help to get our workshop going with putting in what we need to build things for future bungalows, to host retreats, things like that. So the podcast helps with day-to-day stuff. It helps with operating expenses, all these kinds of things. So we're really thankful for all of our supporters. It helps to keep Shekina communities running and free for travelers and spiritual seekers. And your support helps us know that you appreciate what we're doing and putting the podcast into the world. Patrons, you are the very best. You're like a cool morning with just the right amount of humidity, not too much or too little. It's a perfect thing, a cool morning. So I'm back. Yay, getting back in the stride of life from my quick trip. It was quite businessy. I had lots to do, but I also found lots of moments of beauty along the way, and that was lovely. I'm thinking that I really need to factor jet lag into the time of my trip. For a whole week after I got back, I was just kind of barely here. It hit me really hard this time. So that makes the time away, factor longer. But it feels really good to be here now and to actually, we are starting things up again this week, getting back into rhythms. I'm getting back into homeschool. We're getting back into community rhythms at Shekina Garden for the first time since the flood. So yeah, we've done a few meditations here and there and in other places, but the garden hasn't really been running. So it's very exciting to be back, to be getting going again. Ro and some of the others are off this week for a bit of just doing a few things in the big city nearby and doing some conference stuff with our foundation here in Thailand. So that's why I'm recording by myself this week. And lunch is going to be on as usual on Sunday. So we'll have a few meditations and workshops this week, and then lunch will be on. It's very cool. I think our weekly rhythms keep our heads on straight. It helps us kind of know what's happening. Yeah, we really love them. They can, if you've done them for months and months, you can sometimes need a break, but we're always really happy to get going again. And the garden's looking pretty good. There's still some work to be done, but it's green in many, many places. Like a lot of the grass is coming back. We're trying to figure out the best way to treat everything, maybe mixing some dirt into the clay, some sand into the clay that has come from the river. Or there's lots of ideas and thoughts, but things are looking good, and a lot more stayed this time. I think partly because of the brick beds that Neil has been chugging away at for so long. All the plants kind of stuck in place, and the fence didn't get carried away. So when you come to the front of the garden, it looks amazing. It looks really beautiful. And then as you walk farther in, you're like, oh, there's quite a lot of mud in here. But there's lots of green, lots of beauty, and it's looking good. Also this week, Brendan and Leaf hosted their first community lunch at their home in Chiang Mai. They partly got the home that they have because it has a great amount of space for hosting people. And they knew they wanted to, slowly build into what God has for them in Chiang Mai, what they're going to be doing there. And yeah, I hear it went beautifully. I wish I could have been there, but Ro was there, which is great. Quite a few people came, especially for a first time. Often that takes time to build up, and they had a good show up. And it sounds like it was really beautiful with amazing food, good conversation. It sounds amazing, and I'm happy for them. And I can't wait to be at a community lunch with them someday in Chiang Mai. So yeah, the season is beginning. This is our big, full, crazy season. It's always full of a lot of people, a lot of things, as everyone kind of comes back into town. And we know there will be lots of connection, lots of action, but who knows what else. It's so interesting to start at the beginning of a season and not know who will be coming along, like who is going to be a regular, who's going to be coming to all the things, and who's going to, what is going to be happening. God always has so many possibilities, and God is really the only one who knows what's going to happen. So we're watching and waiting and joining in the waiting with God. Yeah, it's exciting, and it's day by day, because it's it can be very full, and I think we all take a deep breath and dive in together. So today's meditation is a Lectio Divina on Matthew 6, 25 to 33. It's guided by Laura and recorded at Shekina Garden in Thailand. The meditation will have 3 parts. First, Laura will guide you through some exercises to help you find a quiet space in your mind, help your body settle down, help your mind settle down. And then she will read through the verses many times with lots of silence. The third part of the meditation is all about processing. So you might like to journal some thoughts if you're by yourself. It's actually a really great idea to somehow get thoughts out from the meditation. I actually often do a little sketch. Even though I share in a circle also, I will just draw a picture from whatever was going on in my head, like a stick figure, or sometimes it's just a little diagram of what I was thinking about. If you're meditating with others, it's a beautiful practice to pass a talking stick or other object and give each person an opportunity to share their experience from their heart. We use this time to listen well to each other, to learn the act of listening, the art of listening, not interrupting or correcting, not teaching, not jumping in and saying, oh, I know about all that already, but really listening as each person shares, no matter where they come from. And it's deep and rich, and it enriches the whole experience. So enjoy. I hope you enjoy the sharing time. If you are meditating with a group, please send us a picture. If you're meditating by yourself, please send us a picture. We would love to post it on the blog. You can send it to shekinacommunity@gmail.com, and I will get that and I will post it on the blog. That would be great. Let's begin.
Welcome to this meditation. Let's start with finding a posture or a position that you feel comfortable in, or that you feel aware and just connected to your surroundings. It's not about the posture or the position, but it's just about finding a position where you can concentrate and be aware for this time. And feel free to move around in this time. You don't have to stay in the same position. Begin with closing your eyes. And let's just begin with the breath. Being aware of the breath that is filling your lungs. Breath is a gift from God. Follow your breath deep into your lungs and into your belly. Follow your breath all the way down to your toes and back up to the crown of your head. Feel free to move your body around if you have any knots in your shoulders or pain in your body. Just becoming aware in this moment. Draw your attention to your sense of touch. What do you feel around you? Where do you connect to the ground? as you're feeling and sensing what's around you, how can you connect that with the divine today? Become aware of the sounds around you. We are in a space with human sounds and animal sounds and car sounds. Maybe find the quietest sound and the loudest sound. Sounds can remind us to come back and focus in our time of meditation, and they can also be brought into our meditation. Maybe find a sound that you are most drawn to that you can come back to if you find yourself drifting off in this time. Take a moment to notice your thoughts. What is the flow of your thoughts today? Maybe it's things that you woke up with in your mind, or thoughts of what you're going to do for the rest of the day today. And just take a time to observe these thoughts. Imagine walking out into a big field. And in your hand is a pile of seeds. And these seeds represent your thoughts. You are invited to plant these seeds in the soil for this time of meditation. This space is a space of stillness and quiet for you to meet with the divine.